So you're brand new to Battletech. This is an amazing time. This is truly the golden age of Battletech. This was the manifestation that the 80s pointed to. We want to build on that. And in this vlog, I want to lay out a blueprint. This idea to take you from a new enthusiast in Battletech to discovering your player personality. And I define the player personality as we spend a lot of time building, painting, collecting, talking tactics, looking at missions, reading tech manuals, reading novels. Then taking all that enthusiasm, stepping out of real life responsibilities like work and school to roll some dice, blow some stuff up, play some Battletech. So the ultimate aim is to make every single gaming experience, every single Battletech experience with your friends premium, to do the best that we can. And based on that, life is too short to play the machines that you don't want to play. We build up a collection. We have an idea of what we want to do on the tabletop, certain tactics. Let's figure out how to do that. And they might be very straightforward. They might be a little bit complicated. They might hinge on being able to pull off something amazing on the table. That really doesn't matter. It's what you want to play and how you want to play it. There is a learning curve in that. And I want to try and cut down on that learning curve because there's a massive amount of mechs coming our way as of this vlog, as of the posting of this vlog, the Kickstarter, the plastic sculpts, the new maps, the new manuals. We want to take that pile of awesomeness and literally use it as best that we can. So the first thing to cut down on the learning curve, and this is a duality. This is very, very hard. Your first 10 games of Battletech don't count. Divorce yourself from this idea of win or lose. Now, this is hard because A, it's a war game, and I'm telling you to jump into the narrative and to embrace the narrative. And the narrative is you're either a mech commander or maybe a star commander, or you're a clanner or an inner sphere mech warrior. You have a job to do. It's a mission. It's literally life or death on the tabletop. You are there to win. Think of it as a training simulation, a very, very realistic training simulation. Often in our enthusiasm to learn a new system, and this is true beyond Battletech, but it's very, very potent with Battletech, it's natural to say as we play games and we're learning the rules, and this is not a criticism, you don't really know what you're doing yet. That's why you're expanding. That's why you have this enthusiasm. We're going to get you in that direction. So the only validation you really have is the win versus loss ratio. You have some tactics. You have some ideas. You win 4 or 5 games in a row. Okay, you're doing well. You're on the right track. You lose 6 or 7 games. Okay, then something is amiss. So win versus loss in the beginning is very, very important. You have to let that go. Because what we're looking to do is to be open to both sides. And this is really the secret to cutting down that learning curve. I can play the game myself with my tactics. And if I play Battletech for 2 or 3 hours, I get in 2 or 3 hours. If I'm open to what my opponent is doing also, even if they're a beginner, doesn't matter their skill level, then the time that they're playing also, that 2 or 3 hours, that's compounded, that's put together. So those first few games, if I'm only interested in winning, I tend to be centric and focus on literally what I'm doing to push forward the win condition. But if I'm able to step back, and again, the duality is we're still going to try and win, but if I'm able to step back and look at what I'm doing turn by turn, look at what my opponent is doing turn by turn, then I get a chance to see both sides. Good moves, bad moves, questionable moves, pushing the heat, making tactical decisions, when to fire certain weapons, how to utilize certain weapons. That key in taking it all in is going to cut down massively. So your first 10 games, try to look at it almost like a tactical analysis, almost as if you and someone else is playing and you're able to step aside and watch, although we want to engage. We don't want to just sit there and watch. The next aspect, and again, this is challenging. I'm right there with you. The enthusiasm. I want to play all assault mechs. The new sculpts, the new plastics. I just want to go all assault. And I'll take a Valkyrie too because I've been feeling the Valkyrie recently. I've always done well with the Valkyrie, and I think it's a very interesting light mech, and I love the sculpt on it, so I'm anxious to get that on the table. But if you were new to Battletech, you're jumping in with the Game of Armored Combat set, take a light, a medium, a heavy, and assault, or light, medium, 2 heavies, light, medium, heavy, and assault. Play a diversity of machines. Don't even worry about battle value yet. And this idea of, just pick some machines, have your friend pick some machines. Don't really concern yourself with balance that much right now. And again, that might work against you. But again, we're looking for the opportunity on the table. Having a diversity of machines teaches you about lights, teaches you about mediums, teaches you about the heavies, teaches you about the assaults, the limitations, how to utilize them. The idea is to put a little bit of pressure on you, a little bit of pressure to help find and navigate your way. After you've played a game, and I try to do this all the time as best I can. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 minutes because the store is going to close. Other times we're just hanging out and maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. Recap. Ask your opponent, what do you think? This is what I was trying to do on the table. Were you aware of it turn 1? Or keeping it hidden, did you become aware later on? What was your plan? What was your plan? What worked? What didn't work? Again, this idea of both of you playing a game, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, combine that so you get 6 hours of vision, 6 hours of voice, 6 hours of both of that pulling together, not being concerned about win or loss, pushing that opportunity. The last kind of layer on there. And again, as much as I'm saying don't worry about winning, we are going to try and win. If you're at a point, and this is a bigger vlog, so I'll make a note, but it's a good foundation. We often come to a point in wargaming where you're pretty sure you're going to lose. If the game continues to play out, even if the dice gods intervene, you've just taken too much in terms of losses. Maybe because you made a tactical error, maybe the dice worked against you, maybe you forgot a rule and your opponent was able to capitalize on it. It doesn't matter why. But in that moment, if you're playing a game, especially in those early 10, 15, 20 games of Battletech, think of it as opportunity. If that happens, well, first of all, we never want to quit because you're putting yourself in the narrative, right? We're stepping out of space and time. We're doing this wargaming thing. You're on the table. You just can't quit. You got to fight to the end. There's also this idea of respecting your opponents, respecting the other players' time, their literal time. They're investing in the game with you. So I don't want to just quit, flip the table, and throw my hands up and say, you won. No, we fight to the bitter, bitter end. And with that commitment, I may lose, but in the narrative, I'm going to maul you so bad, you're going to be saying my name. That's kind of the mindset. But tactically, if you realize you're going to lose in this early 5, 10, 15, 20 games, use it as a training opportunity. Pick something out on the table and try to make that tactica happen. So I'm surrounded. My heavy's got blown up. My assault is in the corner, just making that last stand. I've got the Valkyrie that I've been playing. I'm completely dry on the missiles. Then pick a tactica and try to drill it, try to work it on the table. So you know what I'm going to do? It's still a light mech. I'm going to run around on the table, take sniper shots with that medium laser, and just try to last as long as I can. Try to really get my opponent to burn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 turns, trying to track me down, trying to shoot me. That's going to teach you really fast while I'm still trying to do some damage. I mean, I could run forever, but this idea, I'm going to try and do some damage to you too. I'm not going to win the game. It's not going to turn things around. I'm going to fight to the bitter end, but giving me a chance on the table, a little mini game within the main game, Tactica, to really kind of push out and hone my skills. That foundation, in addition to learning the rules and looking at the tech manuals, that's going to help cut down that learning curve. That's going to help you find your player personality, and that's going to help you really narrow down the type of machines and the type of tactics that you want to play.